So today's question is maximize distance to closest person. We'll be given an array of zeros and ones. One represents that seat is not empty, and 0 represents that the seat is empty. So for example, this is the question. Then 0, 4th and 6th seats are filled, and these seats are left 1, 2, 3 and 5. So where should Alex sit so that he should be at maximum distance? If he sits over here in second position, he'll be at maximum distance from this person and this person. So basically we have to return the index where the person can sit so that he will be at maximum position, and from both other ends, like person sitting on both other ends. So there can be many solutions to this question. What I came up with first was, if we have this array, then we can make two arrays, left and right, and we can fill them. Like suppose over here x is some maximum element, and I will be filling these arrays left and right. How will I fill it is basically I will see which element over here has the what is the distance from the person sitting left at its left, right? So if I fill this, so over here first person is 1, basically the first chair is not empty, so there's no chance that a person can sit over there, so I'll just simply say 0. Now the next seat, it is empty, right? And Alex can sit here. Okay, so let's just say we'll say 1 because 1 is the distance from the first position, right? And this position also he can sit because it's 0, the chair is empty. So over here it will be 2. Why? Because 1, 2. After this person there are 2 seats empty, so over here it can sit. Now this will be filled with 3 because if we count, this is the third chair. Now again 1, Alex can't sit here because it's 1, so we'll simply say this will be 0 because this chair is not empty. Now this one will be filled with 1, and this will be filled with 0 again because it's 1, right? Now the right array is, again we'll start filling it from this side. So this side, this person Alex can't sit at the last position because it's not empty, so this will be 0. Now this position, yes, it can sit, and the distance is 1. Next over here, again Alex can't sit because it's 1, the chair is not empty, so it will be 0. Now this position Alex can't sit because it's 0 and it's at distance 1, right? Next is similarly 2, and over here it's 3, and this one again is 0 because the chair is not empty. Okay, so we got 2 arrays basically, left and right. Now what we will see is we will try to get minimum of both the arrays. Like for example, I'll take a new array separately and say, so over here I'll write what is the minimum between 0 and 0, which will be 0. Next, what is the minimum between 1 and 3? 1. What is the minimum between 2 and 2? 2. What is the minimum between 3, 1? 1. Similarly over here it will be 0, then again 1, then 0. Now I'll take maximum of this complete array and our answer will be 2, right? So what basically I'm doing is I'm trying to see at what position from left side and right side he can sit, and I'll take the minimum from both the arrays, and finally whatever position will be maximum, so I'll take that. Okay, so let's try to code it now. So we need two vectors. Left, the size will be seat size, number of chairs basically, and then I want to take some maximum values like int max. Again I'll take a new vector, and we'll call it right. Now I will run a loop and say int I equals to 0. We'll fill both the arrays individually, so I'll fill left array first, I equals to 0 and I less than seats dot size I plus plus. So if my I is more than 0, right? If my I is more than 0, I want to do something like left I will be equal to, if I have like, if my seats I is equal to 0, right? If it's 0, then only I can fill it. So I'll say, in this case, simply say left I minus 1 plus 1, right? That is exactly what we are doing. If the position is 0, for example over here, I took 1, which is 0 plus 1. Similarly, again over here it was 0, so I took whatever was before it plus 1, which is 1 plus 1, 2. Over here as well, 2 plus 1, 3, right? Now if my seat is filled, then I'll simply write 0. Okay. Also, if I is equal to 0 and seats I is equal to 1. For example, if my question is something like 0, 0, 1, right? So for all these values, it will be int max. The answer will remain the same, right? It will be int max. But for this one, that is this one, it will change, right? Similarly, if my I is equal to 0 and seats I is equal to 1, only in that case, like for example this, only in that case I'll say my left I will be equal to 0. Basically what I'm trying to do is as soon as we encounter 1, it will be 0, right? Okay. Similarly, we'll write for my right array, which will start from seats dot size minus 1, because we are starting from the end, and if I is more than 0, I minus minus. So over here the constants will change and will be seats dot size minus 1, and yeah, this will remain same. Over here it will be right, over here it will be right, and if I is less than seats dot size minus 1, then yeah, this will be right and this will be I plus 1, right? Because over here we will be, for my right array, I'll check from this side. You can see So screen recording just stopped while I was doing this. So I was explaining that I was changing this, and I was explaining how I was filling right array similar to how I was filling left array. If my right, for example, I'm starting from the end, so this will get increased in this order, right? So similarly I wrote over here I plus 1 plus 1. Next what I did was I took a variable called int answer minus 1, because I want to take the maximum of answers, so I just initialized it with minus 1. And next again we took the loop for this array. So what I'm basically trying to do is now I'll take minimum of both corresponding values from left and right. So minimum of 0 and 0 is 0, minimum of 1 3 is 1, minimum of 2 2 is 2, minimum of 3 1 is 1, minimum of 0 0 is 0, similarly 1 over here, and then 0. And now we'll take the maximum of this. It's very self-explanatory why we are doing this, because first we are taking all the distance from the given from the person at the left, and then we are taking from the right and we are storing it. Now we are basically doing what is like taking minimum of these values and finally taking the maximum of it. So I wrote the statement. I wrote a for loop for seed size. Now look at this. We'll take minimum of left and right corresponding in the array, and then I'm saying take answer whatever is the maximum, right? So yeah, and it got submitted.